So, tell me about Blue Mountain School. Talk to me like the basics of it. You're pitching it to me. I've never heard of it.
Okay. Well, I think the place to start with to talk about our school is that we really teach kids through relationship. So the most important thing in the classroom for a teacher to be able to do is relate to kids. Definitely having experience and having techniques and ways to handle situations as they come up, and understanding the content is important. But if a teacher has all of that and they still don't know how to relate to children and form relationships with them, they are not a good match for our school. So that to me is kind of like the seed. And from that comes these two ideas. One is the idea in contemplative education that you really need to know yourself well in order to be able to learn. So the idea that you need some kind of way to get in there and understand how you operate and what motivates you and all those things. So even for little children, we're talking to them about how they feel, or how something, when they paint a daffodil, like in Steffi's class, what did that feel like to you? And just helping them understand, make the connection between their experiences and their feelings and perceptions of the world. And then obviously, as kids are getting older, just expanding their practice so that they have more tools to be able to be present and be a part of the class.
So you talked about contemplative, and I know progressive education is also a part of that. Talk about the contemplative progressive model, why the school operates under that model.
Both?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the way that I like to think about that is that in progressive education, the idea with that is that learning happens on an individual level, and that children really need to be empowered, learners need to be empowered to really understand something. They need to have ownership over it and have some responsibility in it, and not just have it be this kind of top-down, this is what you need to learn. And in contemplative education, so that to me is like there's a lot of freedom in progressive education, and a lot of creativity. And the contemplative part is more disciplined. This is where adults are creating an atmosphere of discipline, and this is, it's a little more, there are more boundaries, I think, with the contemplative part of things. We're asking kids to reflect and to have moments of silence and things like that. And there isn't really choice about that. That's what we're doing right now. And so the thing I really like about our model is it feels really balanced to me on paper. I think in the real practice of it, it's a little bit messy. Mm-hmm. It's a little harder to pull off. But I think that the idea of it, to me, like that's part of life, is that you're always trying to seek balance. That's mm-hmm. part of what you're doing all the time. And so that's part of what we're doing all the time with kids too, is like where is the give, where we're giving them more freedom and more creativity, and where we're shaping the experience more for them. And we're, I think, really finding that we can't have the freedom part without having the boundaries part. The boundaries really have to come first, and we have to really show them what we expect from them, and where we have to provide the container for them that they're going to operate in. And then they can do all kinds of cool creative stuff from that. So.
Right, now I want to make sure the shot's still good. It is, okay. Talk about the integration of mindfulness practice into, like, obviously you have classes on mindfulness, but then you also have, like I saw Miranda's class, she would stop in between different segments of what she was doing and do breathing exercises and other, like, body awareness things. Mm-hmm. Talk about why mindfulness isn't integrated and the role it's played in the overall climate of the school.
Mm-hmm. Well, as a staff, I would say like on all levels, we're really trying to implement reflection and awareness into our daily practices with each other, even just as staff members, and in our board meetings we do the same thing. So we're really trying to bring this ethic of let's try something and then look at how it worked and then use that to help inform what we do next. And that's one of the ways that I think we can talk about mindfulness in a way that's really appealing and palatable for a lot of people. It's like there isn't anything you could think was wrong with that practice,
Right.
you know, the idea of being reflective. So in the 4 years that I've been here, I think we've gotten a lot better at integrating those practices, those moments where we stop and reflect, into just the normal fabric of the day. And I think the more that we do that, the stronger it is for kids. And so it's sort of like training, for all of us, training us to this way of being with each other. So it's really easy. Like, we don't have to do a lot of work to help kids understand, like, at this point in the year we have 2 circles a week, one on Monday mornings to open the week where everyone speaks, and so it takes a long time. But even the little guys, we expect them to just wait their turn. They need to be able to do that. And then we have a gratitude circle at the end of the week. And so it took some acclimating for kids to get to the point where they understood what that was about, but now it's just like habit. They just know that's what we do. And so the cool part is just watching all of us kind of evolve, you know, together, and being able to understand that it's just the stronger we are, or the more that we practice this together, the stronger we get as a group. And like the cooler, you know, really cool stuff can happen as a result.